The week ending May 1st, 2026, marked one of the most significant periods of institutional friction for the current administration, resulting in two major defeats for President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in the National Congress. On April 29th, the Senate officially rejected the president's nominee for the Supreme Federal Court, STF, Jorge Meshes. The final vote in the plenary session was 42 against and 34 in favor, falling short of the 41-vote threshold required for approval. This is a historic event, as it is the first time since 1894 that a presidential STF nominee has been rejected by the Senate. Previously, Meshes had passed the Constitution and Justice Committee, CCJ, by a 16-11 margin after a 9-hour hearing where he defended a restrained judiciary and declared himself personally against abortion. Despite the government accelerating the release of 2 billion Brazilian reals in parliamentary amendments to secure support, the nomination failed. Adding to this, on April 30th, a joint session of Congress delivered a second blow by overturning President Lula's total veto of the dosimetry law, PL 2162-23. The override was approved by a wide margin, 318 to 144 in the House and 49 to 24 in the Senate. This new law changes how sentences are calculated for crimes against the democratic state of law. Under the new rules, when multiple crimes, such as attempting to abolish the state of law and coup d'état, are committed in the same context, the judge must apply only the most severe penalty rather than adding them together. This change has immediate practical implications. It allows for the recalculation of sentences for those convicted of the January 8, 2023, attacks. Notably, former President Jair Bolsonaro, currently serving a 27-year sentence, could see his prison time reduced and potentially qualify for a semi-open regime within approximately 2 years. To facilitate the override, Senate President Davi Alcolumbre used a maneuver to carve up the veto, excluding sections that would have benefited common criminals by reducing time for parole, thereby focusing the benefits solely on those involved in the 2023 unrest. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives officially installed the Special Commission to analyze the end of the 6-by-1 scale constitutional amendment. Led by Deputy Alencar Santana, the Commission aims to present a report by the end of May that would reduce the maximum work week from 44 to 36 hours. On the economic front, the highlight of the week was the provisional entry into force of the Mercosur European Union trade agreement on May 1st. The deal, which has been under negotiation for 26 years, immediately eliminates tariffs on thousands of products, signaling a shift in Brazil's international trade strategy. However, domestic data released this week shows rising inflationary pressure. The IPCA 15, which serves as a preview for official inflation, accelerated to 0.89% in April, nearly double the 0.44% recorded in March. This spike was primarily driven by fuel costs, with gasoline rising 6.23% and diesel jumping 16% due to Middle East tensions. Food prices also contributed, as carrots rose 25.4% and long-life milk increased by 16.3%. Consequently, the Markets Focus Bulletin raised its 2026 inflation forecast for the 7th consecutive week to 4.86%, moving further away from the 3% central target. In response to these figures, the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee, COPOM, met on April 29th. While some analysts feared a pause in rate cuts due to inflation, the committee ultimately delivered a 0.25 percentage point reduction, bringing the Selic rate down to 14.5% per annum. For consumers, President Lula announced a new phase of the Desenrola debt relief program during his Labor Day speech. Scheduled for next week, the program will allow citizens to use up to 20% of their FGTS, Government Severance Fund, to settle outstanding debts. Finally, the agricultural sector closed the 31st Agri-Show with 11.4 billion Brazilian reals in business intentions. While substantial, the figure reflects a market under pressure from high interest rates affecting machinery sales. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. See you.